Hey YouTube, today I'm going to be doing an unboxing of the newly released True Zodiac Time Beasts. This is the Vanguard G trial deck number 9, so we're in the 9th one now. This is featuring the new Zodiac Time Beast from the end of Season 2, I believe, and now most of them they now belong to Chrono, since he rescued all of them at the end of that season, so he uses them now, and I gotta say, probably like one of the coolest matches that they showed was the one in the very first episode of this current season, which showcased a lot of these cards. It was basically an advertisement for people to go and buy these cards, or to go and get the Nubatama ones from that extra booster that came out earlier this year, which is probably really hard to find now, because Nubatama, not a whole lot of people know about that clan or really play that clan, but anyway. Today we're going to be looking at the new trial deck. So I actually picked up 2 of them, so I'm not going to open the second one. But yeah, with 2 of them, now I have like basically 4 of everything. Since if you look here at the bottom, they give you the deck list. So they actually have some pretty nice setup for their trial decks. I will say that. And they went back to using the rubber thing that they got rid of for a while. I actually prefer this. This is how the older Vanguard trial decks were. They were using this plastic thing here that you can actually reuse. I like this. I don't actually throw this away. I keep this to put cards in here. Then I throw them back in this box, and then that's like storage. But yeah, this is far superior to the plastic wrap that they put on here for the more recent trial decks. I'm so glad they went back to this method. I never liked that other method. But anyway, just to go over real quick what you get, it does come with it comes with a guide, version 4.01. If we look at it, it will probably advertise a bunch of the Gear Chronicle cards. So it talks about how to play, I think. And then you have they give you a playmat. Use if you don't have any of those fancy ones like the ones that you see featured in my videos here, and it also gives you like how to make the deck better, basically like what type of cards to look for in booster sets to power up the deck. It also gives you some basic combos just by using the cards that are in the deck. Yeah, they like to throw in, like over here on the side, they'll show stuff like next stage. And for those wondering, I will not be doing unboxings of the clan booster that's coming out that releases the same day that this trial deck releases, because I feel like there's only 2 cards in there that everyone's looking for. One, obviously, is the next stage rare reprint. The other is the Groovy. Groovy is probably going to be overpriced in the beginning, but I think the card's going to be pretty good. But I'm not too big of a fan of Gear Chronicle, so I didn't want to invest in those boxes and then bother having to get rid of all those extra cards later. So I'm going to pass on that one. So meaning I still don't have Next Stage, but you know, I feel like Next Stage will still be okay at 2 copies. So if I have to get 2 rares at some point in time, maybe I'll do that if the price drops shortly after that release. But yeah, anyway, that's enough of that. So we're going to get into the deck now. So you get 2 Chrono Dragon G. So this is the new Chrono Jet Dragon. So the reason why it's just an excuse for them to allow you to play 8 Chrono Jet Dragons now. You have the new one that has a different style of effect. This one is more like it distributes the power to multiple units on the field, and he can actually become pretty strong, so he can become pretty hard to block. So it kind of offsets his GB2 skill. Actually, it's not even a GB2 skill, it's a continuous skill, so he's no longer GB restricted, but it's still kind of like he sort of is, because he does gain the 5,000 for every 2 face-ups. So yeah, I think that his on-strike skill is more useful for the newer way they want to make you play, like the Zodiac Time Beasts, for instance, as opposed to the original one, which was more of a defensive style where it would like mess up the opponent's field instead. But yeah, I think that over time, this one will probably become the more favored one, especially since they want people to buy this card. They're going to try to make other cards that support, that synergize with this card's skills as opposed to the original Chronojet Dragon. So I kind of consider this like Season 3 Chronojet Dragon. Next we have, let's see, how many of these? 2 of the Grade 4 in the deck. Meta Pulsar, Huanglong. For some reason, I kept thinking that the Pegasus that was featured in Episode 1 of Season 3 is in here, but he's not. It's actually this cool-looking Shenron dragon-looking thing. So it's a pretty decent one. It doesn't flip anything up, though. But it doesn't really matter because if you're running this build, if you're just running the trial deck itself, all you really need is GB1 for like Chrono Fang Tiger. This guy's not GB restricted at all, so it doesn't really matter. You just kind of want to stride and then get your GB1 for all your rear guards and stuff. So moving on, we've got 2 Chrono Fang Tiger. I really wish that this one, I had a hollow one of these in here. I don't know why they didn't do it that way, but anyway, Chrono Fang Tiger G. He's pretty cool. Now you can also, just like with Chronojet Dragon, you can now run a full-fledged Chrono Fang Tiger deck if you have the original one. And also, if I was interested in Chrono Fang Tiger, like the other thing is the set that comes out, the clan booster that comes out with this Trial Deck's release, is very good for those looking to build a pretty good Chrono Fang Tiger deck, actually. He gets his critical trigger and he gets a bunch of support cards as well. So yeah. So those are the Grade 4s, and you get those guys. Then you get, I don't know why they're still making 10k Vanguards. I really wish Bushiroad would stop making 10k Vanguards. Just make all Grade 3s released in 2016 as 11k. 10k really is kind of dumb. It's, yeah, like, if this was 11k, it would be okay. But because it's 10k, I just don't like it. I mean, it can mesh well with, at like, 1 copy maybe, or 2 copies. It's just, you can use it with Time Leap. But 4 copies of Steam Maiden, Emi. So those are your Grade 3s. Now you understand why it's ideal to try to get like two of the trial decks, so you can have like 4 of both of those guys. Next we have Chronospin Serpent. He is really cool looking. Surprisingly, they only give you 2 10k vanillas now, which is fine. I don't really think you need more than 3 of these if you're gonna run this deck. But Chronospin Serpent is really cool. He played his awesome role in episode 1 of season 3, where he burrowed himself in the ground. So there's that play. But yeah. So next we've got Chrono Claw Monkey. So they do give you 2 of these. This card is probably one of the more key Zodiac Time Beasts that people will probably be running 4 of. So there's him, maybe 3 of. And then Chrono Beat Buffalo, he's your 11k attacker. So 4 of him. And then you get 2 of the Superior Interceptor, the GB restricted Superior Interceptor. So when he intercepts, he basically gains 10,000, but you have to have GB1. So I don't really recommend running these. I feel like the only deck that I can think of that could tech one of these in is really the Grom Blue deck, because they could just pull him from the drop zone if they needed to defend with him. So yeah, those are your Grade 2s. So you get, what, 4, 8, 10 Grade 2s. That's kind of a weird lineup. That means that we're going to have a lot of Grade 1s. So we have 4 8k vanillas. I feel like 8k vanillas are even less relevant than 10k vanillas. So that's kind of weird. They probably could have given us an extra Serpent and 1 less of these, so you could do 3 and 3 of the vanillas, but oh well. So Chrono Dash, Peccary. I remember this card. Everyone thought that this was going to have an effect, as well as the Serpent, and they ended up being vanillas. But anyway, there's 4 of him. Then there is 4 Chrono Ethos Jackal. This is probably the one. This is going to be the budget melon that people will be probably running a lot of these, especially in Zodiac Time Beasts. So he's pretty good. And then we get 3 Steam Sniper Lishma. So this card's interesting. It has Time Leap. I'll probably try this out. It's one of the few non-Zodiac Time Beasts in here. Then I have Chrono. Wow, my. So I guess this deck of mine has the Hollow Chrono Charge Unicorn. So him along with this guy, if you watch episode 1, you saw these 2 work together, thanks to Serpent. Chrono Spin Serpent got them out. But yeah, so I got one of these. Probably not the best signed card here to get. I would have much preferred to get like maybe this guy. But yeah. So 2 of him. He's your 9K. Or actually, yeah, when he's placed on our... It gives 3K to another Zodiac Time Beast, basically. Then you get 2 Perfect Guards, Vanillas, Repel Circuit Dragon. It would be interesting if... Well, this is not a Zodiac Time Beast, but it would be interesting if these things... If the printed card like this could be the Perfect Guard, then potentially this could be a Hollow Perfect Guard. So that's kind of interesting. And then you get Chrono Dran G. I don't like that he's not a foil card like the original Chrono Dran was. But he does combo pretty well with the on-stride skill. So I feel like this one will probably be the more... it depends, but I think over time, like I said earlier, they're going to try to get people to... They want to see people use the newer cards as opposed to using the older ones. So they're going to try to make newer cards for the clan that mesh well with these newer cards as opposed to the older ones. Next we have 4 Chrono Valley Rabbit. This is the cool looking critical trigger. So he's pretty awesome. You gotta run him. He looks like he's doing his kick. Then you've got Chrono Doze Sheep, which everyone thought was gonna have an effect, but it didn't have an effect. I personally think that they need to start making draw triggers have effects kind of like what they did with stand triggers. Because now everyone's kind of running stand triggers. No one's running draw triggers anymore, except for a few certain decks that can still use draw triggers. So I got the signed one of these. So Chrono Doze Sheep, you get 2 of those. Then you get Chrono Timer Leghorn. It would be nice if this guy also had an effect, because then I think that people would actually play this card. If he had a Time Leap effect, that'd be really nice. But yeah, he's a Zodiac Time Beast. Then, of course, the new heal, Chrono Therapy Hamster. So these 2 cards were featured, actually all 3 of them, I believe. Actually, all 4 of them. All 4 of them were featured in that episode, in the first episode of the new season. So they're basically like a big commercial for the trial deck. So 4 of the heal. And then you get 2 of the new art for the Lucky Pot Draco Kid. So reprinting cards that have like Margle clone effects are still pretty good. Pretty good value, extra added value. Then you get the Gear Chronicle, Dark Zone, Flag, Clan, Flag or Icon. So anyway guys, that was my unboxing of the Zodiac Time Beast deck. Let me know what you're looking forward to building once set 9 drops. Or even if you're planning on building this deck with just the cards that came out in the recent clan booster. For me, I'm probably going to just build, for now, I'll probably just build, just change some of the cards in this lineup and just run the deck as a Zodiac Time Beast deck with like 4 Chrono Jet Dragon G and 4 Chrono Fang Tiger G, just like how Chrono did it in the show. I'll run that probably until set 9 comes out, so which is probably like, what, a month or so. Anyway guys, that's going to be it. I'm going to get out of here, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks.